We've all seen the horror stories of AI chatbots giving customers the wrong information or making promises they can't keep. Usually it's not because the AI is dumb, it's because it's blind. It only sees one email in front of it, so it misses the fact that your sales team actually had a call with that client yesterday, or that their contract says something completely different than what the AI is referring to. Here at True Horizon, we tell our clients that customer communication isn't a messaging problem with the AI, it's a context problem. If your AI system doesn't have access to your CRM, your meeting transcripts, your internal docs, it's eventually gonna break trust. What businesses actually need is a nervous system that connects all of these dots before a single word is ever said by an LLM. We built this entire system with enterprise security standards and AI safety best practices at the core, so you have total control over how your data is handled. It's about building something that's powerful, but also fundamentally safe to put in front of a customer with absolute confidence. So I'm gonna let Deepankar, our founding engineer, walk you through the N8N and agentic logic and the plumbing behind the system. He'll show you how we pull in data from HubSpot and Otter AI, how we keep a human in the loop to make sure the system stays reliable, and build our AI solutions in such a way that we can actually trust them. So Deepankar, take it away.
Now let's walk through the workflow. Every workflow starts when a client sends an email. So every minute the system checks the Gmail, and the moment a new message arrives, the workflow activates. And the first thing we do not respond, we build the context, which leads us to our next step, which is preparing the client context. We extract the sender email, the sender name, subject, message body, and also the thread ID. Then we create the client ID using the same email address that we received the email. This is really important because now the company stack can reference this user consistently. So now the system knows that this is not just an email, it's a customer interaction. And now the workflow starts behaving like a human account manager. It pulls the data from multiple systems simultaneously. First is the CRM, which is HubSpot in this case. We fetch the client deal and the account context. So the AI knows, are they onboarding, renewing, or complaining in the email? And then we extract the email thread history. The AI now understands what was previously promised to the client. Then we fetch the meeting transcripts. We fetch the recent meeting recordings, so the AI can literally know what your team told the client on the last call. And now the AI has memory about the customer interactions, which is relevant to the reply of this email. Which leads us on to our next step, which is the knowledge-based retrieval. So now the agent queries the vector knowledge base. So instead of hallucinating, it searches the company documentation first. So before replying, it asks, has the company already defined how to handle this situation? So this is what it makes enterprise safe, which helps the AI agent to reason in a better manner. And now the AI agent finally runs, but notice what happened. We didn't give it a message. We gave it the CRM context, email history, meeting transcript, company documentation, and the client files. So now the AI performs real reasoning. It decides whether to reply, escalate, update the CRM, or process the documents that we have received. And then comes the part which companies love, the human in the loop. The AI does not immediately reply to the client. It sends the drafted response to Slack using the Slack node. A human can approve, reject, or even modify. And this removes the risk. So now companies don't fear AI writing to customers anymore because humans still have authority. So you get speed and control. Now, based on the human interaction, if it is approved, the system automatically sends the email via Gmail. Then it updates the HubSpot CRM, it logs the interaction with the client and labels it that it has done by AI and approved by the human, analyzes the sentiment if it is a positive interaction or a at-risk interaction, or if an escalation is needed. So your CRM becomes automatically updated with AI with all the details about the client health. So now nobody in your company has to manually log the interaction with the client. And then finally, the workflow, which has determined the customer sentiment, identified the lifecycle stage, logged the interaction, the leadership can now track the client happiness automatically. And this becomes a churn and prediction system. Let's just look at a full cycle. A client sends an email and within minutes, the system reads the email, checks the CRM, reads past conversations, reviews meetings, checks documents, consults company knowledge, drafts a response, and then requests for approval. And if it is approved, then it sends the email, updates the CRM, and then logs the sentiment. no human had to gather the data in this process, and the customer support team only reviews. So instead of spending 20 minutes replying, they spend 20 seconds reviewing. And that is the actual ROI. And this is not replacing employees. This is just augmented decision making. In conclusion, I would say AI agents are not powerful by themselves. They become powerful when they're orchestrated correctly across your company's tools. And workflow orchestration platforms like N8N provide some things that enterprise companies actually require, which is traceability, logging, and controlled execution. So you can decide which activity triggers what. And since most companies don't know about this, that's the reason they fail at AI pilots. They try to deploy a model instead of deploying a system that solves a specific type of problem which is faced by a specific type of people in a company. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you want to see how we monitor failures, retries, and maintain the production grade reliability in these workflows, consider subscribing, as we will help you be on the top of the market above anybody else. So on that note, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.